I wasn't offered the show.
How did you feel cramped up in that space?
Yeah, it was very claustrophobic. At some point, there were like 100 odd junior artists. There was the technical team, the camera team, the ED team, us actors, and I convinced him. But I feel like for a man, it's really difficult to hit a woman. No. I wasn't acting, obviously. How can you act in that scene?
Because it felt very real.
Yeah. God forbid, we'll never be in a hijack. But that situation is not a good situation to be in. Do thappar pade aur khatam na scene.
Yeah. Hello everyone, this is Ocean Fernandez for midday.com, and today we are in conversation with Patralekhaa Paul, who's out with her web series IC814 for the Kandahar Hijack. Hi Patralekhaa.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you today.
Good to see you.
First of all, congratulations on the series. I think everyone's been raving about it. And your performance has been spectacular.
Thank you.
So I want to start off by asking, does it feel overwhelming that, you're out there in the limelight at the moment and you're being talked about?
It does feel overwhelming because I was not expecting this, honestly.
Really?
I thought, the show is going to come, great. And also I hadn't watched the show, so I didn't know what to expect. But I knew that it's going to be a good tout show because the script was already really, really good. The way Anubhav Sinha had written and Prashant had written it. And I knew that there were these like legendary actors in the show. But I was like, okay, I'm like a really small part of it. We'll see. But the day it released, and once the reviews started coming in, I don't know, it's not sunk in yet.
On that note, I want to ask, why did you agree for this show when you knew the part was limited, the screen time is not that chunky?
The screen time is enough. I don't know if you've seen the show.
I have.
But I didn't understand the impact of her part.
What it would have.
What would it have on people, on the audiences? Because as an actor, you do your job and you get out of it and onto the other one. And I like not to have expectations because usually it didn't work for me, So I wasn't offered the show. I went after Mr. Sinha. I knew he was writing the script and Matchbox was producing it. Look at the names already attached to it. And I called him up and I was like, sir, मैं आती हूँ आपको मिलने के लिए. And he's like, ठीक है, आजा. And then I went and met him and I was like, I want a part in the show. And he's like, यार अभी तो मैं कुछ नहीं बोल सकता हूँ क्योंकि मैं बस लिख रहा हूँ. इसको पकने दे, देखते हैं. Then every month I kept following up with him. I'm sure he must have gotten a little irritated with me. But eventually he was like, अच्छा ये है, मुझे लगता है तू ये ज़्यादा अच्छे से कर लेगी. तो तू देखो क्या लगता है.
Patralekhaa, what is your memory of 1999 when the hijack took place? I believe you must be in school.
I'm sure even
I was in school.
I don't have really vivid memories of it, but I remember there was a box TV at home and my father was glued to the news channel. And I have like some images, but not that clear. But then I read up about it on it. Also, it's a part of history that can never be forgotten. It is a part of our country's history that actually shook the world.
Yeah. Also, since you're playing an air hostess in this show, did you undergo any kind of prep?
I mean, the technical prep, the training, those things we did. But Anubhav sir doesn't like actually doing the usual reading and stuff with his actors.
No workshops or anything?
No, I don't think so. He believes in that. He is a believer of, sitting on a table, eating food, having a conversation with you, and slowly easing you into it. So I think that's also very comforting as an actor. You feeling like आप exam देने नहीं आए हो. You don't feel like अरे reading है और मुझे अच्छा करना है. वैसे type का feeling नहीं है.
Given that most of your scenes were shot inside the plane, how did you feel cramped up in that space?
Yeah, it was very claustrophobic. At some point, there were like 100 odd junior artists. There was the technical team, the camera team, the ED team, us actors. And somebody had got some kind of viral. and then it just went around with everyone. Even Sir got it, though he was sitting outside the plane. I got it. My nose was just running continuously. I had 101-degree fever. I called up my GP and I was like, look, I'm shooting and I need to be okay. You know, my mind has to work, my body has to work. He came and injected me, and God only knows what he gave. But yeah. But the feeling was not good. Not good, you know. God forbid we'll never be in a hijack. But that situation is not a good situation to be in. Just imagine sitting on those seats which are anyway so uncomfortable to sit even for a couple of hours, to be in the flight for 7 hours. The toilet is running out. It's it's quite traumatic.
Did that experience affect you on a level where, you know, there's a certain increase of fear of flights suddenly?
So I'll tell you, and it was very funny. So I didn't understand till it hit me, and it was my last day of the shoot, and I was flying out that night. I was going to London for another shoot, and my mind didn't process it. Okay, and once I sat in the flight, I was alone with my assistant. I was like, oh my God. And your mind starts running wild because now you know what happens at the back of it, right? That was not a great experience. And then once I landed in London, actually it hit me. That's when it hit me that it was quite difficult, the shoot. It did take a toll. The scenes where, you know, the toilet is running out.
Or the slapping one.
The slapping one, then about the father. We all are daughters, we know.
Yes.
So it did take me 4 or 5 days to just, like, you know, I could feel like my body was tensed and I just felt tired and I felt like not really good, you know, and I knew why this was happening. I knew it was like a knee-jerk reaction to what I've shot.
Yes.
And my plane sequence was like back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Including the turbulence one where you guys are like...
Yeah, that physically is difficult. You know, because obviously the turbulence is not happening. You're rocking yourself back and forth. The camera is going back and forth. So, yeah.
And all of that in a sari, like throughout.
Yeah.
How do you...
No, sari is not an issue.
Really?
I love wearing
You
saris.
love wearing sari.
But just the uniform kind of gave... Any kind of uniform gives you a sense of, a sense of doing your work properly, you know, duty.
Also, the scenes that you just spoke of, they're also 3 of my favorite scenes. One, because, you know, you've experienced loss and grief at a personal level. In that scene, when you ask him to check up on your father, you weren't acting.
No. I wasn't acting, obviously. How can you act in that scene?
Because it felt very real.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to get there because we're going to get emotional. So anyway, coming to...
But we are daughters, right?
Yes.
And there's no loss like the loss of your parents.
Coming to the toilet scene. I believe your peer had to do...
the cleaning.
But what if Indrani was given that role to like...
That's a duty. I think Indrani would have done it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I don't know, when I was watching it, I assumed like... Maybe you would be the one doing it.
Oh, okay. So, no, but it was Chaya,
So
but it was very difficult for me just standing outside and just experiencing it.
Patralekhaa, you also mentioned the slap.
Yeah.
How many takes?
So, you know, Harry, my co-actor who slapped me, who's one of the terrorists, I could sense that, you know, he was a little nervous about this scene. And he came and spoke to me about the slap 2-3 days before. And he's like, नहीं मैं तो नहीं करूँगा, मैं ऐसे कर दूँगा, तू अपना मुंह घुमा लेना. And then Anubhav sir was like, नहीं क्यों? Then I was like, yeah, don't do that, Harry. We will do it as it is, you know. And I convinced him. But I feel like for a man, it's really difficult to hit a woman. You understand? All those plays were coming into... It was playing on his mind. I could see it. And I think it's really against him to hit somebody, and especially a girl, let alone being a girl. And I literally had to ease him out into this situation. And the day we were shooting this, he was like, why? Let's not do it. We were like, no, let's do it. And then he was like, cool, let's do it. And we spoke about it, what he's going to do or whatever. And then we did the first take and we did another take.
So,
Yeah, it was done.
Been,
yeah. Also, it's good, na? Like, the impact is more.
Yes.
If you would have done it, if you would have cheated it,
you lose the essence
of it. And plus, do thappar pade aur khatam na scene.
Yeah.
Then to be doing it, it's traumatic for him also, me also, even the director. And Anubhav sir is anyway coming from a film called Thappad.
Yes. What has been your biggest takeaway from this series?
My biggest takeaway is grit. Human beings are just amazing. They don't lose in the face of adversities. They're fighting, they're navigating through it, and I think that's my takeaway. If you see like people inside the plane also, they are wanting to live.
Yes.
And they're navigating it. For Indrani's character also, there's so many layers happening, and yet when it comes to her duty, she's doing her duty, yet she's thinking about her ailing father, yet she's completely terrorized, but the will to live, the determination and the grit is what I take back.
And that has transformed you on a personal level in any way?
But I am that person. I'm very determined.
Yes.
I don't like giving up.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.